How many times have you heard, oh, we're going to get you leads, we're going to get you leads? I mean, have you went down that rabbit hole? Well, how about marketing and creating your own leads? That's what we're going to talk about in today's Roofing Business Builder podcast. Hi, this is Daniel Lakstins, and you're listening to the Roofing Business Builder podcast. Now, in today's show, we're going to talk about marketing, and I have a special guest. But before we get into that, let's do a mindset intention for this episode. And the intention is, everything is working out for me. Yes, everything is working out for me. You know, when it comes to running a roofing business, especially in the time period that we have been in, it can be tough because, let's face it, when the economy is a little rocky, the people with large buildings, they become more conservative when it comes to spending their money. A lot of times, some of us roofers are just scratching to get maybe a repair here or there, while other roofers are thriving. Well, do you want to be one of those roofers that are thriving? Well, in a down economy, there was examples of ones like during the Great Depression in Germany, they would actually start marketing even more. So like when it came to Mercedes-Benz, when the Great Depression was here, they would actually market more. They'd spend more money in marketing. And what they found is they came out on top when the things got better. So if you've been one of those roofers that are feeling like, wow, things are really, not flowing the way they used to be when the economy was really good just a few years ago, well, you're not alone. But you have to just tell yourself, my world takes care of me. If you hold that mindset, then you'll feel better. And what you'll find is your world will take care of you. It always has, and it always will. So marketing is one of the things that we can focus our attention on when it comes to growing our businesses, when we're feeling like maybe the customers aren't letting loose of the money. This is the most important time to do that. But a lot of us, we've dealt with different ones emailing us and saying, oh, we're going to get you leads, marketing. I don't know if you went down that rabbit hole or not, but I know when I was, even in my roofing business, there wasn't those leads. But in the past 17 years, as a manufacturer's representative organization, we would have a lot of that going on. But a lot of the leads that we would generate were not very good leads. They weren't qualified leads. And it was really hard to teach them, people that the marketing companies, how roofing works or the right things to say. There's so many different things that if they're not a roofer like we are, then they probably wouldn't be able to figure out exactly how to market to the right customers. So, would you like to start marketing yourself? Yes. Do you have someone in the office that's doing it for you, or are you doing it? Well, no matter what, we can educate ourselves more and more on marketing. It's the most important part of our job, because without marketing, we don't have a customer. Without a customer, we can't get our crews to keep working. And without that, well, let's just face it, we need the money. My special guest is Lior Vaknin. And Lior, it's spelled Lior. It's pronounced just like Christian Dior, the brand. So it's Lior Vaknin. Now, he was actually a madman, if you know what that means. It means an advertising person in Israel. And he came to America in 2009, and he had his own practice or his own marketing company. But he actually even got into other things, such as a digital app that was like a caller ID type of app. It was really cool. It's called Mazizi. And because of his background in marketing, he really wanted to give back because he understands the struggle that we all go through when it comes to trying to market your business. And what he's done is designed a program that's called Local Service Mastery. Now, this is an education program very similar to my education program, Roofing Business Builder, which focuses on helping a roofer cross over from residential into commercial without losing hundreds of thousands of dollars and actually passing that $1 million mark. Or Roofing Business Builder is also for those roofers that almost hit the million or almost hit the 10 million, but you got a mental block. Roofing Business Builder program is perfect for you. Lior's program is specifically around educating you, the business owner, or maybe one of your office personnel, on how to become your own marketing guru. And it's really important because we know the lingo in roofing, whereas most marketing companies wouldn't. But he gives away a lot of great tips, a lot of great information in this interview with him. So without further ado, let's look in on my interview with Lior Vaknin. So I just want to say, hey, Lior, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Perfect. Thank you for having me, Daniel.
Man, it's great. This is a really interesting subject that I think a lot of small and even medium-sized commercial roofing owners, or even if you're in residential, this is a subject that we run into different people trying to sell us leads, or they're promising the world. But before we get into all that, I just want to learn more about you. Can you tell us more about who you are and tell us more about the Local Service Mastery Company?
For sure. So again, super excited to be here. My name is Lior Vaknin, and I'm an online marketer for the past 12 years. This is what I've done, dealing mostly with the service business owners, helping them generate leads through Google Ads, Facebook ads, SEO. And this is what I've been doing for many years now. Now, this past couple years, I saw an increase in the number of businesses that have reached out to me through referrals, through seeing my work on YouTube and other platforms. And a lot of them are just so frustrated with, marketing companies that overpromise and underdeliver, or just ghost them. And there are even some scammers who just, scam people out of money. Mm-hmm. And they were just so hesitant, and just I like to say they were having just this PTSD effect on them from the whole industry. And so in 2022, I built a program called Local Service Mastery that teaches the service business owners themselves, the roofers, the general contractors, the garage door repair technician, HVAC, and so on, how they can generate their leads themselves. And so this is what I do now full time. I don't do any agency work anymore, and I focus 100% on teaching the business owners themselves how they can generate their own leads without ever needing to depend on marketing agencies again.
That's so great, because it aligns with what I always teach my contractors too, is that, I mean, you might as well do your own thing. And that way you're in control of marketing. And it's so hard to find the right ad agency. And so what you're saying is that you used to live in New York, right? Was it New York?
Yep.
And you were the madman, right? Which is the ad man, if we ever watched Mad Men. That was a great series. But that's really cool. And so you've seen a lot. You know a lot, and instead of just opening up your own advertising agency, you decided to help people to learn how to do that. Is that what you're saying?
It's not instead. I was doing it, Daniel. I did have the agency, and I've been doing it for a long time. Like I said, I started off in SEO and search engine optimization back in 2009, when there wasn't that much of a competition, and not every other person would tell you, oh yeah, I do SEO. It was a different landscape back in the day. But what I saw now is just the fact that because people understand now, and service business owner understand that they must be online. They must generate their leads online. It's not just, the postcards or being on magazines.
Mailers.
Like you need to be, definitely. You need to be online, and this is where people spend most of their days on. That with it, there's been, just a rise of really bad companies that offer services. And so what ends up happening is that these service business owners, spend thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars every year on these marketing agency, and they see no result. And it's not just that they're spending this money, but every year that you're not making $1 million, you're losing $1 million. So it's basically that. Like they just spend a year, the season is over, and they just didn't grow their business. And so that's what really prompted me to build this program and teach the service business owners themselves how to do it. Because to be honest, if you're able to build a company and, bring yourself from zero to 500,000, $1 million, it means that you have something here. You're not just like, this ignorant person. You're capable, you're talented, you're an intelligent person. So you can do stuff. Not everyone is entrepreneur, right? So it already pre-qualifies you to do those kind of things. And now there's just this gap of information and of knowledge where on the one hand, this is not something that you've done before, but on the other hand is the promised land, is the fact that you are able to basically control the weather. You're able to generate the leads, the amount of leads that you want, whether you have, 2 sales reps or 10, you now know what it takes to generate the amount of leads that would be sufficient for you. So, this is what we do in local service mastery.
That's amazing. I always teach that you don't want to bring a shotgun and to shoot your target, right? I know it's a terrible analogy, but the thing is because a lot of roofers out there, they're just out there and they're just throwing their advertisement all over the place. And what I'm saying is bring a sniper, snipe out the correct avatar of a customer that you're looking for. And so you understand that. Can you tell us what you see, maybe contractors, what sort of mistakes that they're making when it comes to marketing?
Sure. So there are a few really, let's talk about the 10,000 feet mistakes, which, this is very, very unfortunate. First of all, not knowing what assets do you have or do you own. When before we even jump on a discovery call, this is my sales rep now, they do it, but we just want to understand that you have your credentials to your website, right? Which seems kind of basic, but for a lot of business owners, they don't even know what website they have. Like they know the domain name, but they don't know much more than that. They don't know how do they log into the website. They don't know where is their website hosted on. They don't know if their Google Ads is under their control or the marketing agency control. So these are like really, really basic stuff that you must know, because you need to think of it as if this is your your office. Would you just deposit your keys in someone else's hands? With you just need to ask them every time for you to just get in or out of your office? Obviously you won't. So you must have an understanding of what your assets are and have all the right credentials to it. That's number one. Number two is backups. I would say before we even dive deep into the whole lead generation and how you're generating leads, just make sure that you have your backups ready. If, God forbid, something happens you can always go back into this, latest backup. And then there's, the more technical parts of it, of the work, where if you're working with a Google Ads specialist or a marketing agency that runs your Google Ads, it's like, okay, what is our conversion rate, right? How many clicks are we getting, and how many calls or lead form submission on our website come out of it? Okay, this is what we define as conversion. In the service industry, conversion means two things. It's either a phone call, someone called us, or someone left their contact information on our website. Now, roughly speaking, obviously, it differs between different areas of the country and different services and so on. But 20% is a good ratio, right? 20% conversion rate, meaning that out of 5 people that clicked on our ad, we're getting a phone call, right? So that's the basic level. In our program, for instance, we shoot for a minimum of 30%, but 20%, that's like the industry average. So you want to make sure that the marketing agency that runs your Google Ads gives you this report. It's like, okay, this is how many clicks we got this month or this week. This is how many phone calls and lead form submission we got. In terms of Google Business Profile, which, Daniel, do you know what Google Business Profile is?
Yes, I do.
All right. So a lot of people now not sure what Google Business Profile is, because it used to be called Google My Business, GMB, Google Map listing, that there are different names, but basically that's your free listing on Google that shows you in the 3-pack, in the organic results. That's the top results in the Google search result. So,
and plus it shows where their business is located. So if they're like searching, you'll pop up right beside there. And it's like a free advertisement each time, isn't it? I mean, and plus, you want your business, and when someone types the word roof, then there'll be a map right beside the results, and you want yours to be at the top, right? Right. Pointing to your office location.
Right. So this is where, again, I see a lot of service business owners just make the mistake of just taking a company that says, oh yeah, we're charging $600 per month to do your SEO, and you'll see results anywhere between 6 months to a year. Now, cheap is costly, like when you're just putting pennies on the dollar and just like trying to get the best price, you're not getting the best results. And what ends up happening is that the companies that you're hiring to do this $600, $1,000, like $1,000, again, it really depends. But if you don't know what you're paying for, that's the biggest mistake, right? But in any case, what ends up happening is that they will give you a report where you have no idea what you're getting, and they're saying, oh, we're doing this and that, and they're saying we're giving you one blog post per month for free as part of as part of our work. Well, one blog post per month is nothing. Okay. So what I encourage people in our program to do is have anywhere between 3 to 5 blog posts per week. Okay. Now, just by the sheer amount of content you have on your website, that's building an authority in the eyes of Google in your local area, right? So if you're based in, let's say, Austin, Texas, you won't be able to rank with your website in Oklahoma City or in LA, right? But it builds your authority in your local area. And so if you think of yourself that you're doing a 10th or 1/20th of the effort that one of my, one of my clients does, then obviously you won't have any chance of outranking him because you're not putting the amount of work. Now, again, these marketing agencies, like, people need to understand that they're calling themselves marketing agencies, but actually they are, it's sales teams. Their job is just to sell the package or the promise, and then just put you asleep for 6 months to a year. You end up paying, anywhere between $6,000, $7,000, all the way up to, $25,000, $30,000 a year. Comes the end of the year, like, hey guys, not seeing any results. What's happening here? And then the usual response is, oh yeah, it takes time. There's way more competition. We need more time. And by then you'll be like, oh man, like, I've already paid them $30,000. This is not working. And then you're going and spending this money on another company. And if you're not learning how to do it yourself, you just end up, repeating this vicious cycle.
Yeah, and the worst part is a lot of the leads they get, a roofer gets, can be unqualified leads because the marketing company may not know specifically what to target for you, nor are they necessarily roofers. It's interesting how, marketing companies, they can market for multiple industries out there, but it's really complicated to understand the mind of a roofer and the mind of the potential building owner, for an ad agency. So it's sounds to me very inviting to be able to train my own company or train someone that's going to be in my marketing staff to learn how to do this and to have fun at it. And yet we all know our industry so well that we can take those principles and then market to the perfect avatar.
Yep. And, like you mentioned something that, that the marketing agencies bring on unqualified leads. A lot of times it also happens when you're trying to just promote on these other platforms that, whether it's Thumbtack or Angie's List or, like Yelp paid ads. So what happens a lot of times is that you're not getting exclusive leads, right? In contrast to Google Ads or with your Google Business Profile or with Facebook ads, that these leads are solely yours. When you promote on, on all these other lead generation platforms, they send out the same lead that you're getting. They send it out to 4, 5 other contractors, and this is now becoming just like a pricing thing, right? Where you never want to be in when you're a service business owner, you never want to be just competing for price. All right. Mm-hmm. You want people to want to work with you because of who you are, because of the type of quality work that you bring, because of your experience, because of, just your brand.
Usually in this industry, they've done their homework. They already look at you as the roofer they want because of, when you're marketing.
That's the ideal scenario. But again, a lot of times they just go on, on Thumbtack or on Angie's List and all these other platforms, and they just type roofer near me and click on the paid ads results. But this is not the type of leads that you want to work with.
No,
really,
not at all. As a matter of fact, like I always say that you want to snipe out, like in the Roofing Business Builder program, we're always teaching to snipe out specifics. What is your company good at? If you look back through all your pictures of every job that you ever did, you're going to find that it's like, wow, all we ever do is hotels. Well, then you're the hotel commercial roofing guru. You may be all the pictures of your roofs that you've done were self-storage units. Well, then you should be at every self-storage conference, every trade show there is on the subject, because people that own buildings are going to be there and you want to talk to the decision makers. And so when it comes to the type of marketing that you're teaching, you help them to be able to zone in and not waste time going after everything, but go for that specific spot, find that perfect customer that, what I teach is when they go to your website, they need to see pictures of buildings that look just like their building. So they go, damn, that's my roofer. This roofing company gets me. And that's it.
Yep. No, and it's especially true when when you don't know what you're doing in terms of like Google ads, or like with your Google business profile, with Facebook ads, or these marketing companies that you're taking on don't know, is they just, for instance, they send them, when someone clicks on the ad, it sends them to the homepage. Okay. Why would it be relevant if it's, if you're talking about hotel roofing? Why would it be relevant for them to see that that you have a lot of different type of roofing? Why not sending them into hotel roofing in Minneapolis, all right? Or like something that speaks, like you say, like specifically to their needs. They see the exact type of work that they need. And so that would raise your conversion rate. This is like basic stuff, but a lot of marketing companies miss. And when you're a service business owner, when you're a roofing company owner that don't know all these type of things, what ends up happening is that you're wasting money on nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right? And paying a salesperson sometimes, or whoever, to answer the phones to talk to an unqualified company that you're not going to do any business with because they're not the right customer for us. And that's what happens. It's like you get all these leads, and now you're spending not only money for the leads, but you're actually spending money to find out that these aren't the right ones for you.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah. Definitely. And you're spending it's like it demotivates the sales rep. They just, they drive out to that lead, and, they spend an hour, 2 hours just speaking with them and understanding that they're not qualified, they don't have the funds or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it starts off with, with knowing what you're doing, and then obviously targeting and, like building your brand, which is super, super important.
Well, that's awesome. We covered a lot, but is there any other, maybe some advice that you can give that would help a roofer, a commercial, someone that's either in residential or in commercial that are trying to specifically look at commercial leads that could help them improve in their marketing? Maybe a little tip that you can share.
So first of all, like, I think that what's important to understand is that in our day and age, like, you need to be omnipresence. So you can't just be on Google, you need to be on Google, and you need to be also on Facebook, and same with like Google Ads. And so you want to be all over. Now, the second thing is that you want to have video content. Okay, now this is where a lot of service business owners and a lot of roofers are missing out. Why? Because they're afraid that they don't look professional, that, like that they don't have a production team with them. That's not what people look for. What people look for is authenticity. Okay? People want to see that you're a real person, that you're a real company, and they want to connect with you. Okay? Now, maybe 50% of the people won't like you, but that's okay, because the other 50 would want to work just with you. And so I always say to people, it doesn't matter. Just shoot with your iPhone, shoot what type of work you're currently doing, explain what you're doing, and just give an overview. And this builds credibility. And if you put this video on your landing page, on the website, people can get to really relate and connect with you and want to work just with you, and not with all these lead generation where they don't know who's that person, whether he's legit or not. And obviously, second thing is make testimonial videos, okay? If you did a good job, if your clients are happy, just film them or ask them, hey, like, would you mind recording a 30, 60 second video, sharing your experience working with me, whether you like it, whether you would recommend it. These are like basic stuff, but when you put them to work, and when, there's like a compound effect, it's like one video you're making, I'm not seeing results. Yeah. But if you make 100, then all of a sudden you would see how you're generating crazy amount of leads organically without any, like paid ads. So these are just a few. Obviously, you want to understand how to do all the technicals, and we won't be able to cover all of that here in this podcast. But yeah, I think that general theme is, if you're a service business owner, if you're a roofer, whether it's commercial, residential, you need to know what you're doing. This is maybe the most important aspect of your job, knowing how to generate your leads.
It's a lifeblood. Yeah. And to your point too, when it comes to your crews, you're going to have someone that's in their 20s that loves using their iPhone or whatever, a smartphone, and just assign that task to them to videotape them doing an install of a curb flashing, doing an install of this or that. And then, you have that information, download it, and then have someone cut it. If you can't, you can find someone on Fiverr that can cut the video for you and make it look really cool. And then as far as your salesman, or if it's you, the business owner that's picking up the check, or maybe there was a retainer that was held and you're getting your last payment, that's when you go in there and maybe call them and say, hey, I'm going to come by and pick that up, but I was wondering if maybe we could shoot a little testimonial just to tell people how good I did. And most customers will love to do that for you. It's only going to take them a second. You can pull it out and just film them right in their office, maybe get them to sign the check right on film. I'm just kidding. No, don't do that part. But just tell them, just have them do a testimonial that they came in and they did a great job. They're on time. They said what they were going to do, and they did what they said, and get that testimonial. I even like for them to do the testimonials for each of their niches. I always say stick to some specific niches, and that way you can go to all those trade shows, but you'll get at least 5 customers that are super happy. And even within those 5 customers, you can have them have specific things that they loved about your company. So when they watch each of those videos, it builds up that, oh my God, that it covers everything that I was concerned about, because you're hitting their pressure point or pain points within those testimonials, that you're showing that transformation, that, the roof was bad, but I was worried because, energy efficiency and all these problems, but they showed me a solution for the energy efficiency, and oh my God, it just worked out so great for me. But then you choose another one for the other person. I was worried about staging because they didn't have any space. And you know what? They came in, they had sky tracks, and boy, they did a great job. As a matter of fact, they did more than what they said they would do. They over-delivered. Thank you so much, Joe Blow Roofing, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they can design this specifically and in a specific way, then you're going to find, people are going to love you. They're going to love you.
Yep. And again, like this, like you shoot it once, and then you can use it on your YouTube channel, where if you don't, you need to create one. Super important, because, and here's a great tip for you guys. Okay. So if you upload a video to YouTube with, let's say, hotel roofing in city, okay? Hotel roofing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you put this one up, it will get ranked easily with no backlinks, no like advanced SEO, search engine optimization, no nothing. It would rank pretty easily at the top results of Google. Okay. Now imagine you're doing a few iterations of that, or giving a few videos like this. All of a sudden, you're dominating the search results without ever putting that much work that, all these marketing agencies tell you that takes 6 months to a year. Just by like these little tweaks that you need to know. And again, I'm not blaming the roofers and the service business owners that don't know that they need to do it. But now listening to your podcast and understanding that this is the most important part of their work, there's no excuse. Daniel, like, you need to take matters into your own hand, and you need to control your destiny as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's investing in your future.
It is.
Making a smart investment. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Before we go, though, how can people find you?
So, obviously, they can go to the website, localservicemastery.com. They can look me up on Instagram. It's Vaknin Lior. I can also send you some links and some referrals. And feel free to ask some questions. I'm available, and me and my team love helping service business owners. And the transformation that people see is like, you actually changed my life. Like, this is the type of response. And we do as we preach. So you can see testimonials on our website and see what other service business owners have said about the program. But yeah, localservicemastery.com. And my name is Lior Vaknin. So you can look it up, LIOR VAKNIN. That's my name. And yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Well, Lior, thank you so much for being on the show.
Pleasure. And again, thank you so much for having me, Daniel. It's been a real pleasure knowing you. And hopefully I was able to give one or two good tips for your audience.
You brought extraordinary value. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too. Now, wasn't that an awesome interview with Lior? He covered a lot of things, but what was your biggest takeaway? One of mine is that, we really need to make more videos. We need to make more content. You do realize that as you make content over the next 1 year or 2 years, that content you hang on to. Don't ever delete any video content. Just put it in a file on your computer, but don't get rid of that. But it's that, it really helps with marketing on specific things, and you should have a separate landing page. And that was just one of the biggest ones that I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But he mentioned a lot of different things when it comes to marketing, how we can market for ourselves that we can use. And that's what I want for you. I want you to actually take your marketing into your own hands. All right. And now it's time for Did You Know? Did you know that when it comes to marketing, blogging, any sort of marketing piece that you're putting out there, that there's some things you should know, that using videos or some sort of imagery will actually increase your views by 94%. But there's more. Did you know that using videos can increase, and this is on your landing page, if you have videos of everything, it will increase conversion by 86%. This is incredible. Videos actually get 267% more links than a normal post. That means that you're more connected on the internet with your video than if you were just typing something. 58% of your audience will actually stop watching your video within about 90 seconds. 58%. 20% of people will read the information in what you're posting, whereas 80% of people will watch the video, but it has the same content. So it's a big difference. The video is really important, is the point of this Did You Know? And viewers actually retain 58% more of what they see than what they read. And here's the biggest one too, is that these consumers are going to look at 11 reviews in most cases before they purchase on their path. And that means your review and then 10 other people. So remember what I've said all along is that people have to know who you are and love who you are and actually feel that that's my roofer as they're looking through your content. And that means that you have to create more content. So we can do it. I've been working my butt off on creating more content too. So you're in the same boat with me if you're resonating with this message. But, oh, and also, if you're looking to grow your business, if you're crossing over from residential into commercial, then I'm looking to bring on a few more students into the program. That's the Roofing Business Builder program. And it's a 6-week course, but you have lifetime calls with me. And actually, this year, I'm going to start doing it totally lifetime. So that means if you're listening to this and you're part of the program, then it's going to be lifetime for you. And if you're going to be joining the program, then you're going to really be educated on how to cross over to commercial and actually have the mindset of a millionaire to grow and scale past that $1 million mark, past the $10 million mark. So what you need to do next, though, is to get on a qualifying call for the Roofing Business Builder with me. If you're one of those roofers that feel like you're stuck, you can't get past certain things, then you might be a perfect candidate for the Roofing Business Builder program. And what you should do then is to get on my Calendly, which is Daniel Lakstins. Go to just type Calendly, Daniel Lakstins. It'll pull up my Calendly. And then click on the Roofing Business Builder qualifier. We can get on a Zoom call and we can talk about where you're at, where you want to be, and what sort of transformation that you want to have. And then we'll see if you might just be a perfect candidate to become part of the Roofing Business Builder family. Remember that you get 6 weeks of education, and plus you always get to be able to speak with me and ask questions once a week on the weekly Wins call every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if this is something that you've been wanting to do, you may want to jump on that Calendly call with me right away. But hey, that's it for the Roofing Business Builder podcast. I'm so glad that you got to listen, whether you're in your truck or in the office, whatever you have going on. I hope it was a Merry Christmas for you. This is being recorded on December 26th, so this is a day after Christmas, and I'm very thankful for Lior to actually come on and talk to us about marketing. I appreciate you so much. Again, happy holidays. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a Happy New Year. Until the next show, I don't always consult on commercial roofing businesses, but when I do, I make millionaires. Stay wealthy, my friends.